And it is Thursday, April 5th. So welcome to this edition of the Native News Update. And I am your host for today's program, Paul Demain, once more. And many of our stories that we read here you can find at our website at IndianCountryNews.com. And here are some of the news stories for the day. The Hochunk Nation's Language Division has worked with Thornton Media to release a dynamic next-generation Hochunk Language App for the iTunes Store. iPhone and Android versions are soon to follow. The app is the first release for Thornton Media's new Language Pal 2.0 software, the latest version of their popular language learning software apps. The 500-entry Hochunk app is part of a vigorous Hochunk language revival program, said Don Thornton, president of Thornton Media. The app has record, playback capabilities, reading, writing, and speaking quizzes, and 3 levels of games. It's highly personalized to the Hochunk community. The Hochunk Nation will also be releasing an iPhone, iPod Touch version of the Hochunk Basic. An Android version will be released in May. In addition, an iPad storybook app, The Two Wolves, will be available soon in both English and Hochunk. The Hochunk language program learned about Thornton Media when they attended one of their popular Las Vegas workshops last year. Thornton Media has also created an online web portal for clients to upload their own materials. This will save clients the cost to fly us out to their reservations or reserves, said Thornton. We'll be introducing our online portal to Indian Country at the Wisconsin Indian Education Association Conference coming up on April 20th. The app is free and can be found by searching Hochunk in the iTunes Store. The Cowlitz Tribe is objecting to a Corps of Engineers proposal to raise the sediment retention dam on the Toutle River by 10 feet. The tribe says the longer-range plan to raise the spillway 30 feet could hurt chances for salmon and steelhead in the upper watershed. The Daily News reports this is the first time the tribe has opposed work to control sediments from the 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens. The Corps says the volcanic silt is washing downstream and slowly raised the riverbed, increasing the risk of flooding in the Cowlitz River. The tribe wants an environmental impact statement that would postpone work on the sediment dam for at least a year. The 21-year-old son of a Browning man who killed his mother last year has reached a plea agreement on a charge that he helped hide his grandmother's body. Federal court records indicate Thomas Charles Mark Heavy Runner is scheduled to plead guilty this week to accessory after the fact to murder. The Great Falls Tribune reports 44-year-old Mark St. Storm Heavy Runner pled guilty to second-degree murder last week for strangling and drowning 71-year-old Marie Heavy Runner in July 1st of last year. He's scheduled to be sentenced July 16th. Prosecutors allege Thomas Heavy Runner came home afterward to find that his father had killed Marie Heavy Runner. The father then asked his son to help hide the body. Blackfeet tribal law enforcement officers found the body in the crawl space of the house last November. An upstate New York tourist attraction with an extensive collection of French and Indian War artifacts is handing over the care of those items to a local historical organization. The Fort William Henry Corps in Lake George says it has an agreement with the French and Indian War Society that allows the group to care for the exhibit areas and the artifacts owned by the private company. The corporation owns Fort William Henry and the neighboring resort hotel located on the lake's southern shore. The company says the historical group will update and improve the fort's exhibits and displays. The replica fort was constructed on the site of the original Fort William Henry, built by the British during the French and Indian War. The French captured the fort in 1757 and burned it to the ground. The Federal Trade Commission has filed a lawsuit against several Oklahoma tribes claiming their payday loan companies are operating illegally. The commission filed the complaint this week against payday loan firms operated by the Miami Tribe of Oklahoma and the Modoc Tribe of Oklahoma. The complaint alleges that the companies would make repeated small withdrawals from customers' accounts while charging a fee each time. According to the Oklahoman, one customer was charged $675 on fees to pay off a $300 loan. The FTC is seeking an injunction to stop the companies from operating while authorities pursue the case and investigate them. Miami Nation Chief Thomas Gamble did not return a message seeking comment, while a spokesman for the Modoc Tribe declined to comment. The U.S. Department of Interior has agreed to pay Maine's Passamaquoddy Tribe $11.4 million to settle a claim of federal mismanagement of tribal assets. The lawsuit was filed in the year 2006 by 60 tribes from throughout the United States. The Passamaquoddy's Joint Tribal Council met during March and voted to ratify the settlement, but the council also agreed not to discuss it. Hundreds of tribal members who live within the Pleasant Point and Indian Township settlements have signed petitions asking the Joint Tribal Council to distribute the money equally among tribal members. The tribe's current census shows around 3,369 tribal members. Council member Leslie Nicholas told the Bangor Daily News that the funds will be deposited and frozen for the time being. A group of 10 students at the Little Wound High School on the Pine Ridge Reservation are looking forward to using a passport for the first time. The students are raising money to do what many, including elders on the reservation, say is the unthinkable. They're going to take a 10-day trip to Spain and Morocco in May. The group has raised about $19,000 of the $30,000 necessary for the trip, and they are continuing to raise money by selling concessions at powwows, conducting raffles, and seeking donations online. Math teacher Jonathan Santos Silva is organizing the trip. He says he wants to offer students opportunities they might otherwise not be able to have or afford to have. Sophomore Jessica Braveheart says she wants to help prove the students can leave the reservation. You can get more information online about that by going to indiegogo.com/Spain trip, and we'll put that URL up for you to use it and make a donation to help them with that trip. And that's going to be another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. Look forward to your favorite Kimberly Acosta for the Friday news, and thank you for joining with us. Come back again soon.